जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Thursday. It is 17th of January. It is Magha Masa or Madhva Masa, Krishna Paksham, and then Sabiya Tithi. It is Saviti Tithi. Yesterday it was the day, so today it is Saviti. So, but there are no Vaishnavas today in the calendar. Sorry, it is 6th, apologies. So it is 16th of January, and it is the Tadiya, and there are no Vaishnavas in the calendar. We shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Sukadeva Goswami is speaking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and how the Virat Rupa form has come into the picture and into full activities. So, in the similar to that Virat Rupa, all the living entities, whatever the Virat Rupa, he has got activities, they're all inherited into the living entities as well. So, in such a way, first he is speaking on the Virat Rupa. So, Antah Tirira Akashat Purushasya Vichestataha Vojaha Saho Balam Jajnya Tataha Prano Mahanasuhu. So, from that Mahavishnu, the sky is situated, and also from that sky, uh, the sensual energies and the mental force, and also bodily strength, and also the life energy, everything has got generated. And also as soon as he feels that he wanted to do, and whenever he is moving, likewise along with him, all the living entities also move, just like giving an analogy that a king, whenever he is moving, all his entourage moves. So likewise Prabhupada was explaining, and Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. अनुप्राणन्ति यं प्राणाः प्राणन्तं सर्वजन्तुषु अपानन्तम् अपानन्ति नरदेवम् इवानुगाः. Naradevam Ivanugaha. So further, Sukadeva Goswami is explaining that and initially the Virata Rupa, he has created the hunger and thirst, which is agitated by the agitated by the living force. So the hunger and thirst are created, and because of that, later on, so he wanted to drink and he wanted to eat. For that purpose, the mouth was generated. So the sequence is coming. So likewise, he is telling about the Virata Rupa. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 10, verse number 17. प्राणेन आक्षिपताक्षुत्रुड् अन्तरा जायते विभोः पिपासतो जक्षतक्षा प्राण्मुखं निरिबिध्यत. प्राणेन आक्षिपताक्षुत्रुड्. So by the living force, akshipata being agitated, chut and trud, hunger and thirst. Antara jayate vibhoho. Antara Jayate Vibhoho. So from within his body, in the Virat Rupa's body, Antara Jayate Vibhoho, they were generated. Vibhoho of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the Virat Rupa form. Pranin Akshipata Kshutrud Antara Jayate Vibhoho. Hunger and thirst got generated within the body of the Virat Rupa, agitated by the living force. Pipasato Jakshataksha. Pipasato Jakshatasha. So Pipasa is the being desires to quench the thirst. Pipasata, to quench the thirst, because he got the thirstiness. First they are created, and then for that purpose Pipasataha and Jakshataha, and being desirous to eat. Pipasato Jakshatasha cha, and Pranmukam Niribidhyata. His Pranmukam Niribidhyata. This is the prak here. So in the first mukam, the mouth is generated now. So because the hunger and thirst, and now desiring to drink, desiring to eat. For that purpose, further part is the mukam. The mouth is nirbidhyata. So that was opened. Nirbidhyata in the body of Virata Rupa. It is kind of a similar kind of nature in the womb of the mother. The baby, it forms all kinds of different parts, limbs, bodily limbs, from first month, second month, third month, fourth month, fifth month, like that. So here everything is agitated by the living force. First is the kshut and trud, hunger and thirst. Pranin akshipata kshutrud antara jayate vibhoho pipasato jakhyadasya pranmukam niribidhyata. So translation for this verse. The living force, being agitated by the Virata Purusha, generated hunger and thirst. And when he desired to drink and eat, the mouth opened. And purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request any unallocated devotees to read this purport, please? Yes, Prabhuji.
The process by which all living beings in the womb of the mother develop their sense organ and sense perceptions appears to follow the same principles in the case of Virat Purusha. The sum total of all living entities. Therefore, the supreme cause of all generation is not impersonal or without desire. The desire for all kinds of sense perception and sense organ exist in the Supreme, and thus they take place in the individual person. This desire is the nature of the Supreme Living Being, the absolute truth, because he has the sum total of all mouths. The individual living entities have mouths. Similarly, with all other sense and sense organs. Here, the mouth of the symbolic representation of all senses organ for the same principle apply to the other also. Sri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So here Prabhupada is describing, this is the beginning of, we can immediately, because it is Virata Purusha, we are hearing from the Sukadeva Goswami. But in our day-to-day experience, we can just understand how the baby enters into the womb. So kind of a Karlam tu ekaratrena pancharatren budbhudam dasahena tu karkanduhu pasyendam va tatah param. So, and then masena tu sirodhvabhyam, in the second month, the head will be formed properly, and bahu angri adi anga vigraha, and arms, and so many different parts. Nakaloma asti charmani, and the nails and the bones and the skin, they are forming, and then linga chindad bhavasitihi, Linga Chidradbhava Tribihi. So all the holes, they are formed within the body of the baby in the womb. In the uh, second month and third month is the holes will form into the baby's body, like the all Navadvaras, eyes, nose, ears, and mouth, and also rectum and genitals. These are the 9 holes will be formed. Linga Chidradbhava Tribihi in the third month. And in the fourth month, Sapta Dhatus are they got created. Chaturbihi Datavaha Sapta, Panchabihi Kshutrud Udbhavaha. In the fifth month, the hunger and thirst got generated. And Sadbhir Jarayana Vitaha. And then Kuksho Brahmiti Dakshine. In the sixth month, what happens? Jarayana Vitaha. Jarayana is the kind of the omnion or vitaha enclosed within the womb, the baby, and so it is mentioned like the fetus enclosed by the omnion begins to move on the right side of the abdomen. Kuksho Brahmiti Dakshine. In the right side, the baby starts moving to the in the womb of the mother. And then Matho Jagdanapana Jaihi Et Dhatuho Asammate Sete Vinmutra Yorgatte Sajantuhu Jantu Sambhave. So the baby in the seventh month, um, so because he has already got this kshutrud, hunger and thirst, he starts to drink and take, because that needs to be quenched, and also mm, the food he has to consume the food as well. So how it is supplied? By the mother. Matho Jagda Annapana. Whenever mother eats and drinks, that energy will be going to the baby. But here, as soon as the Lord, he feels to eat here, and he feels to quench his thirst, because they got generated by the living force of the Virat Rupa. So, and then for that purpose, the mouth is open, mouth is generated. So that is the sum total of all living entities of the Virat Rupa. Okay, therefore, the supreme cause of all generation is not impersonal or without desire. And because of his presence only, even Nabo dadati swasatam padam yenniye madataha. Swalokam tanute dehim mahan sabdibhiravrutam. And because of his presence within this universe is keep on expanding, and the sky is giving the place for him. Nabo dadati swasatam padam yenniye madataha. Padam yenniye madataha. So because he is expanding, likewise. Swalokum tanute deham, because his body is within the universe in the Virata form. And Mahan Saptabhiravritam, and this Mahan is the Mahat Tattva, so inclusive of the 7 layers of the universe. So that is here Purusha is within this universe because of it keep on expanding. Okay, so and here because therefore the supreme cause of all generation is not impersonal or without desire. The desires for all kinds of sense perception and sense organs exist in the supreme, and thus they take place in the individual persons. Because the father has got the same form and the child is also got the same form, either mother or father. He will derive those things. So because in another way, man is made up of the supreme personality of Godhead. That is a common term. Likewise, Virat Rupa form is there, and we are also, he feels and we feel. He wanted to eat and drink, we also wanted to eat and drink. It happens within our body as well. So that this desire is the nature of the supreme living being, the absolute truth. So this is the nature of the supreme living being, the absolute truth. Because he has the sum total of all mouths, the individual living entities have mouths. Similarly, with all other senses and sense organs, here mouth is the symbolic representation of all sense organs, but the same principles apply to the others also. So here starting about the mouth, this is mouth is open for eating and drinking. Similarly, for the eyes, ears, the skin, and everything else, they will also be following the same principles. So that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, प्राणेन आक्षिपताक्षुत्रुड अंतरा जायते विभोः पिपासतो जक्षतश्च प्राणमुखम निर्विध्यता. Okay, that is happening in the Virata Rupa form. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. We shall quickly move into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so today letter to Tamala Krishna, June 21st, 1970, Los Angeles. So it is a long letter. Can I request Meena Mataji and Hangma Mataji? Meena Mataji read first half and Hangma Mataji read second half. Meena Mataji?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. My dear Tamala, please accept my blessing. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 18 June 1970 and sent by special delivery air mail. Krishna philosophy is understood as it is stated in the Vedic. Yasya deva para bhakti yatya deva tata guru. Tasya eta kathita hi artha prakashyante mahatmaha. One who has got unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord and similarly faith in the spiritual master, to him only the imports of Vedic knowledge become revealed. A spiritual master is always liberated in any condition of his life. He should not be mistaken as ordinary human being. This position of a spiritual master is achieved by three processes. One is called sadhana siddha, sadhana siddha. That means one who is liberated by executing the regulative principle of devotional service. Another is kripa siddha, one who is liberated by the mercy of Krishna or his devotee. And other is nitya siddha, who is never forgetful of Krishna throughout his whole life. These are the three features of the perfection of life. So for Narad Muni is concerned, in his previous life he was made servant son, but by the mercy of the devotee he later on become Siddha, and next life he appears as Narada with complete freedom to move anywhere by the grace of the Lord. So even though he was in the previous life a maid servant's son, there was no impediment in the achievement of his perfect spiritual life. Similarly, any living entity who is conditional can achieve the perfection stage of life by the above mentioned process and the vivid example of Narad Muni. So I do not know why you have asked about my previous life. Whatever I was subject to the law of material nature. So even though accepting that I was subjected to the law of material nature, does it hamper in my becoming spiritual master? What is your opinion? From the life of Narad Muni, it is distinct that although he was a conditional soul in his previous life, there was no impediment of his becoming the spiritual master. This law is applicable not only to the spiritual master but to every living entity. There are thousands of examples explained in our books that the conditional soul is never affected with the material body. It is said in the Vedas as asamaga ayam purusha, which means the living entity is always unaffected with matter. Another example is given that the reflection of the moon on water appears through the moving, but actually the moon is not moving, it is fixed up fix up. So any living entity is like that. His reflection on the material body appears to be changing, but the spirit but the spirit soul is fixed up. Therefore, this moment is called illusion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So please contemplate and the takeaway points that you have read. Meanwhile, Hangma Mataji is going to read. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Liberation means liberation from the changing condition. So far I am concerned, I cannot say what I was in my previous life, but one great astrologer calculated that I was previously a physician and my life was sinless. Besides that, to corroborate the statement of Bhagavad Gita, Suchinam Shrimatam Gehe Yoga Bhrashta Samyate, chapter 16, verse 41. Chapter 6, verse 41, which means an unfinished yogi takes birth in rich family or born of a suchi or pious father. By the grace of Krishna, I got these two opportunities in the present life uh, to be born of a pious father and brought up in one of the richest aristocratic families of Calcutta, Kashinath Malik. The Radha Krishna deity in this family called me to meet him, and therefore, last time I was in Calcutta, I stayed in that temple along with my American disciples. Although I had immense opportunities to indulge in the four principles of the sinful life because I was connected with a very aristocratic family, Krishna always saved me, and throughout my whole life, I do not know what is illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, or gambling. So far, my present life is concerned, I do not remember any part of my life when I was forgetful of Krishna. So it is very good news that your centers are doing well, and the program for opening several more new centers is most encouraging to me. In the meantime, I'm eagerly awaiting to see the French and German editions of our Back to Godhead printed, so please send me copies as soon as they are printed. Hansadatta has also written to me in this connection of acquiring our own European printing press, but I think that for present there is not enough capital to advance for this purpose. Also, unless we have very good press equipment, it is not very practical to print our literatures ourselves. But in future, if the opportunity is there, then we shall consider further. Regarding the invitation from Africa, I have not heard anything about this from Gurudasa until now, but I have just asked him for the information. Regarding your question, how to carry your deities to different places with you, you should, of course, always carry them personally, if at all possible, in a small box or cabinet for the purpose. Then, when you come to another temple, you may place them on the altar with the other deities. That is nice. Regarding your second question, what determines whether a devotee goes to Vaikuntha planet or to Goloka Vrindavan? Those devotees who are following Vidhi Marg are meant for going to Vaikuntha planets, and those who are following Raga Marg are meant for going to Krishna Loka. It is generally that the followers of Lord Chaitanya are going to Golokama Vrindavan. There is no difference between Vaikuntha planets and Krishna Loka. It is a matter of personal taste only. I have heard that Radha is almost completed in London, and it is Ratha is almost completed in London, and it is expected that the Rath Yatra festival will be very, very magnificent. So, as you have suggested, this will also be the best opportunity for the several programs to be established by mutual consultation amongst yourselves. Yourself, Gurudasa, Shyamasundara, Hansadatta, Mukunda, etc. So please manage everything very nicely, and Krishna will provide all opportunities for expanding his movement throughout the European countries. So see that everything is done cooperatively, then it will be very nice. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Okay, so going back to the top, so start. So please contemplate on the takeaway points, Mataji, while Meena Mataji is going to add some points, highlight those points.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Meena Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, it's very long letter, but I just have some point like, which I thought I can discuss. So he just Prabhupada is saying that somebody who has faith in Supreme Lord, they have faith in spiritual master as well. And also Prabhupada is saying that spiritual master is always liberated with like, and then he gave this example, sadhana, sadhan siddhi. And then another one is kripa siddhi, and then third one is nitya siddhi, and he just giving example for each of them what is mean that. And then he just given example of Narad Muni, that Narad Muni was previous like in his life he was born in maid servant, like and then he has kripa of like some he has kripa from the some uh, like spiritual master, and then he like because he was his mother was like maid servant, and then his mother was like doing the devotional service to the like when this receive or when this spiritual master, when this sadhu comes, they always like do the service seva as well. And so Narad Muni was associated with him, and so even though he was a maid servant in his uh, first like in life, but afterwards he was become like liberated, and then he has freedom to go anywhere, and like God gave him a mercy. And then he just asked that why you asking the about my previous life. Yeah, so it's just given 1,000 of example explaining our, and then yeah, so I think yeah, then he just asked that what is your opinion about Narad Muni? So even though he was maid servant like previous life, uh, he was like, and then he's also got there was no implemented what was your previous life or things like that. So this is low spiritual master, but it's to every living entity. Yeah. So okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Mataji. Nicely reflected those points. Okay, coming to Hangma Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I think here when he mentions liberation means liberation from changing condition, I think it means um, even though bo- our physical body it gets born and it dies, but then again we are born in next life, but the soul remains the same. So I think liberation means to be liberated from this birth and death cycle. And he has also explained about his previous life, and they say that if you are practicing a lifestyle where you do not commit any sins and doing your sadhana, then they say that in your next life you will get an opportunity to complete your sadhana. I don't know if that is true, but something I heard. And they say that you get born at least with one like a supporting family or supporting or a comfortable family, so that you do not have to worry too much about other material things, and you get opportunity to do your sadhana. Uh, so Srila Prabhupada, he has also mentioned that he was in previous life a physician, and his life was sinless, and he was given a blessing that at least he was born in a rich family, and with a pious father, so that he had the support, and he was brought up in that family, so he didn't have to worry about the other materialistic things, and he could um he could continue his spiritual journey. And yeah, and he is grateful that Krishna always saved him from the sinful activities like intoxication, meat eating, and illicit sex, and everything, that he never was involved in those things, because Krishna always saved him. And and uh, uh, and uh, he has in the said something about the opening the printing press. He is mentioning that now is not a good time, but later on, with Krishna's mercy, if the expansion go on well, then in future there might be opportunity that they will use their own press. And uh, and while and he has also mentioned that when we are traveling to different places, then we can carry our deities with us personally and carefully in a small box or cabinet, so that we can take them wherever we are, and always keep them personally, and not leave them, um, and carry them personally, and like not send them, or like where we don't know how it gets delivered or something. So it is better to carry them personally. And uh, and uh, and uh, regarding the where we go after uh, after death, whether to Vaikuntha planet or Goloka Vrindavan, he says that devotees who are following Vidhi Marg will go to Vaikuntha planet, and Raga Marg are going to Krishna Loka. But Prabhuji, I'm not sure what Vidhi Marg and Raga Marg is. So that, and yeah, and at the end, he has explained about the Rath Yatra, that it is coming together very nicely, and this time it is going to be very magnificent. And yes, Prabhuji, that's it.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nicely explained. And
Thank you.
Mataji as well. Okay, any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add to this letter?
Just want to add, like, this Narad Muni, when he was like serving this sadhus, and there at that time he also eating that remittance of, like, whatever the prasad, and after they eat and whatever left over, he ate as well. So that is also very important, isn't it?
Yes, it is Uchistalepan Anumodito Dvijaihi. Sakrusma Bunje Tadapasta Kilpishaha. The remnants, Uchistalepan, Uchista is the remnants of the foodstuff left over by the devotees, by Anumoditaha, by their taking their permission and eating it. Just as soon as Sakrusma Bunje, just even though he has tasted, that is once upon a time only, then Tad Apasta Kilpisha, all of his sinful activities are eradicated. And then Evam Parurtasya Vishuddha Chetasaha. And then he has received the mercy of those devotees. And whatever their nature, the mood they have got to the Supreme Lord, he also received the same thing. Evam Pravrittasya. Pravrittasya is the that engagement. Whatever their engagement, it has also come to that boy. So, and Vishuddha Chetasaha, completely purified mind. And tad dharma evatmu ruchihi prajayate. Ruchihi, the taste he has got. Tad dharma is what is tad dharma? Savai pumsam paro dharmo. That is devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes. Thank you so much, Mataji, adding that point. Okay, so here again, Prabhupada is explaining about the three siddhas. One is the Nitya Siddha, Sadhana Siddha, Krupa Siddha, and another one is a Nitya Siddha. Sadhana Siddha is the following all the rules and regulations and then chanting and rendering devotional service to the Lord in such a way he will become Sadhana Siddha. Krupa Siddha is the by mercy of the devotees and Krishna. So the one wanted to see Krishna, but however, he has got very quickly, that is Krupa Siddha. And then Nitya Siddha, who are always liberated, just like Narada Muni and Acharyas. So they're always uh, free from the mental contamination. They are never forgetful of Krishna throughout his whole life. Like Prabhupada was mentioning about his this life, there was never a time that I forgot Krishna. That is, it is a Nitya Siddha. So again, this is Narada Muni, and then further, so everyone has got equal opportunity to become a Siddha. So Sadhana Siddha and Krupa Siddha, they have got these opportunities if he is not a Nitya Siddha. But anyway, there is no difference when he become a Siddha. Once he comes to that platform. And okay, so and then Prabhupada is also explaining about so here Tamal Krishna Maharaj was asking Prabhupada, are you what kind of Siddha you are? What was your previous life like that? And Prabhupada is further explaining here about my previous life. He was a physician. There was no sinful activities. He was completely sinless. And because of that, this is Suchinam Shrimatam Gehe Yoga Brashto Samjayate. So if one has not finished the devotional service in the previous life, he will get an opportunity to take a birth in the current, in the next life, like in the family of Brahmanas or devotees, like that, aristocratic families. So in such a way, Prabhupada was got that opportunity. And he is always free from Krishna was saving him from the sinful activities. Okay, so that is one thing. And also coming to further is about the printing of the books Back to Godhead magazines and European printing press. That is going to be the for future whenever everything is fine. And then further about the America's invitation and taking the deities. So when we have got deities in our home and we offer the fruits and the nuts and uh, and nice prasadam too. But when we are going outside, Prabhupada is saying just put the deities in a nice box so that you can carry. Otherwise, someone has to always attend the deities three times, like morning and afternoon and evening, offering the prasadam to the deities. Likewise. And in the previous letters, Prabhupada also mentioning if they are not, prana pratishtha is not done, and then you can just keep the fruits and just nuts which cannot be rotten, such kind of the nuts and water, and then you can go and come back. But once the prana pratishtha is done and we are just tending that offering the deities and doing puja and every day, then you need to take the deities along with us in a small box or a cabinet for that purpose. And once we go to any temple, there we carry out. And when you keep these deities in the altar, they will receive the services as well there from the pujaris. When we are engaged in other devotional services, like going outside for preaching and everything else. And also here coming to the going to the Vaikuntha or Goloka. So Vidhi Marga is the following the regulative principles. So with what we are doing now, order the spiritual master is chant 16 rounds, follow the four regulative principles, no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication, and also no unnecessary desires to acquire the wealth. like the goal. These are the 5 places that Kali Purusha is always existing. So once we follow that rules and regulations and reading the scriptures under the guidance of the spiritual master and engage ourselves in devotional service, that way, if he follows, that is called Vidhi Bhakti, following the rules and regulations, that is Vidhi. Then he will go to the Vaikuntha. And whereas the Raga Marga, once Vidhi, he is surpassing that rules and regulations, automatically, immediately, I mean, this activities, carrying out this devotional service activities, it happens automatically for him in one day. So just waking up and then I need to do for Krishna and I need to dress him up and offering nice food and prasadam. So it is establishing the relationship and developing the love towards the Lord. And then at that point of time, the rules and regulations does not come and act on him because he is already absorbed in Krishna consciousness. That is called Raganuga Bhakti. Because that as long as that relationship is there, he will go to the Krishna Loka, like a father and mother, friend. न कश्चित् मत्पराः शान्तरूपे नक्षन्ति नोमि अनिमिषो लेडिहेतिः येषां येषां सखा येषां, that is mentioned, Saka Guruhu Suhrudo Daivamishtam Aham Priya Suta Atma. Likewise, either son or a father, guru, friend, likewise, these things, these established relationships, they will never ever be lost. They will always continue with Krishna, like Yashodama and Nanda Maharaj. Likewise, even Potana also got that kind of motherly position in the Goloka Vrindavana. That Uddhava was mentioning. Aho Bakiyam. Anyone say that verse? अहो बकेयं स्तनकालकूटं जिगांसया अपि अपायदप्यसाध्वी लेभे गतिं दात्रीमुचितां ततोऽन्यं कं वा दयालुं शरणं व्रजेम. Even she got a bad intention, but still she tried to give the milk to the Krishna, but she got a lebhe dhatri. She got the position of Dhatri. Dhatri is the Dadi, or who gives the milk to the, like a motherly position. One of the mothers mentioned in the Shastras. She got that position in the Christian Loka because she has got such kind of intention for few moments. So here, that is what Prabhupada is explaining. Raga Bhakti. They go to Krishna Loka. Okay, so and then further about the Radha. So Prabhupada is mentioning. So manage everything nicely and cooperate among themselves. Likewise, Prabhupada is mentioning. Okay, this is my takeaway points as well. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So that's why one has to have a Yasya Devi Para Bhaktir Yata Devi Tata Guru. One has to have unflinching faith on Guru and Krishna. Then Tasyete Katta Haddaha Prakashanti Mahatmanaha. Then Vedic knowledge become revealed in the heart. Okay, that is Srila Prabhupada's letter. From the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got Krishna book reading. Today evening at 8 p.m. with Shyam Gudivada Prabhuji and Ramnath Sukh Prabhuji. Okay, that is our upcoming event. And coming Saturday is our Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, these are our regular updates. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness and any events, kindly share. Hare Krishna. And with regards to that Narsimha Chaturdashi's offerings to the Lord, so I think we would like to, as Debashish Prabhuji is going to Mayapur, I think it would be very good to present to the deities personally on behalf of representing our Sangha. That would be very nice. Is that okay, Prabhuji? suggest, and the devotees, please share your opinions as well. So it requires 51,000 rupees and 51,001 rupee. So once we just convert it to that, send it to that Debashish Prabhuji's, and then that money can be, Lakshmi can be offered to the Narsimhadev in the temple directly. And then, of course, they will give receipt to us possibly, and we will share in the group for all the devotees who have contributed for transparency purposes. Okay, any other opinions or suggestions on this one?
Yes, Prabhuji, that will be very good. Yeah, it's very nice to offering like while he's there.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, this Prabhu. Yes, doing personally so nice. And then we can further and then behalf of us we can pray also. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other comments? Sanchita Mataji, you wanted to add? Shridhar Govindas Prabhuji, Saranyama.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, Hare Krishna, everyone. Yeah, it's nice, like to be able to. It's lots of mercy to be for Prabhu to go to Mayapur and then donate on the behalf of our sangha. So nice opportunity. He can pray for us. Yeah, okay, happy for that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Debashish Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So you're happy with that, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu, if everyone is happy, then yes, I can do that on behalf.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji. You wanted to say anything else, Prabhuji?
No, Prabhu, I'm like, when I go there, like the day, maybe I try to contact you guys and show you when I'm doing it by the video, if it's possible, the time and all this. But Prabhu.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhuji. It is wonderful. Okay. Any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Any thoughts? Okay, so that is from the updates perspective. So if nothing, no other updates are shared, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। कृष्ण कॉन्शियस एवरीवन। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद।